Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gamansing. Topping our newscast, in our top story, the teacher strike on St. Thomas that caused early dismissals on Tuesday received strong reactions, but perhaps the loudest of all was the statement that Governor Kenneth Mapp released later that night. Meanwhile, lawmakers pitch in on the issue of retroactive wages for teachers and what needs to happen to address the teachers' demands. News 2's April Knight has that story.
Governor Kenneth Mapp said he's not working with the American Federation of Teachers with a gun to his head. That's after more than 200 teachers took to the streets on Tuesday to protest their wages. In a statement, Governor Mapp pointed to the fact that VI teachers would be getting raises for the first time in 7 years. The governor wrote, "What else is the AFT asking?" But the teachers who protested on Tuesday said they did so without any urging from union leadership. For them, at the heart of the issue is not the raises that Governor Mapp is offering, but up to 6 years' worth of retroactive wages that union members insist is being used by the government as a bargaining chip for their increased salaries. The chief negotiator denies this, saying retro is still on the table, but various sources told News 2 they saw an incriminating document proving otherwise. Senator Tregenza Roach and other lawmakers helped disperse the crowd on Tuesday.
We talked about the issue of the retroactive monies owed to teachers. We talked about working conditions and just their frustration.
Some lawmakers support the teachers' protest. One of them is Senator Gene Ford, chairman of the Senate Education and Workforce Committee. But Ford said the Senate has a limited role in the negotiations.
Our job is to make sure that there's funding to support whatever increases that he has offered. And we have done our part. So, it's just a matter of going to the negotiation table, looking to see what the issues are, what their concerns are.
As for the governor's comment on having a gun to his head,
We wonder, is it in fact the employees who think that they have a gun to their head with regard to going forward in new negotiations, because the economic conditions of the territory are going to be put first and foremost, and we're going to be saying to them, we don't have any money.
Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
Union leaders were scheduled to meet with Chief Negotiator today, Wednesday, and we are following the developments. We will be keeping you updated. Meanwhile, St. Thomas St. John District schools were back in session today after being dismissed earlier Tuesday. In a statement released very early this morning from Education Commissioner Dr. Sharon Ann McCollum, she reiterated that the department was fully prepared to serve and schools were fully operational. Republicans in the territory are still reeling from the ripples of last Saturday's territorial meet. Voices were raised, accusations were thrown around, and things got physical. One Republican committeeman is worried about how this makes the Virgin Islands look in the eyes of the world. News 2's April Knight has more.
The growing rift within the VI GOP is turning into an all-out war that's gaining national attention. On Saturday, a territorial Republican meeting devolved into a shouting and shoving match, their state chairman John Canigata saying he's only upholding party rules, and then there are those who think Canigata is acting like a tyrant.
The first meeting was not legal. It didn't follow parliamentary procedures. It didn't follow Robert's Rules of Order. It was chaos.
During the meeting, accusations were made against member Gwen Brady, who allegedly grabbed the cell phone of Dennis Lennox and threw it at him. Some accounts say Brady was knocked against a wall by Frederick Espinoza, who said he was only protecting both Brady and Lennox and has now hired a lawyer to protect himself from defamation. Canigata considers the anti-Espinoza allegations as a smear against a rising VI GOP star. For Superdelegate Holland Redfield, the incident involving Brady transcends political parties and really boils down to bullying.
Particularly bullying directed towards females. And when you see that and, there's an apparent resignation on her part, several people are resigning that are females. And I would never want to see a female put into that situation.
Redfield, meanwhile, says he's worried about what the meeting says about the Virgin Islands.
This has gone viral and national, And again, it's not reflective, I think, of who we are as a people.
Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
We are also following developments in the delegate dispute. That's the root of the recent disagreements within the party. We will keep you updated. The Committee on Rules and Judiciary, chaired by Senator Kenneth Gittens, held a meeting at the Capitol building on Wednesday to vote on several measures, including Bill number 31-0075, an act authorizing the Department of Human Services to develop a comprehensive care program for females in the Youth Rehabilitation Center and the juvenile justice system. Gittens said the program should expand beyond the juvenile system and collaborate with various programs offered at the hospitals. He added that this comprehensive program should provide services for an entire lifespan that goes beyond the current age limit of 21 years old. Ultimately, lawmakers voted unanimously for Bill number 31-0075. It's April 20th, 2016. That's 4/20/2016, also known as International Cannabis Day. Millions of cannabis enthusiasts and advocates around the world have joined public demonstrations and forums showing support for freeing cannabis from prohibition for medicinal and adult uses, as well as the industrial use of hemp. Senator Terrence Nelson, who has put forward bills on industrial hemp and medicinal marijuana, joins in on the observance. Here's more.
This global observance of 420 Day is a message that advocates and supporters of the free cannabis movement are making to policymakers around the world, that we are in fact advocating for the laws to be changed and for just laws relative to cannabis to be made, and that's what this advocacy is about.
Meanwhile, Pennsylvania has become the 24th state to legalize medical marijuana. The governor there approved a measure on Sunday that allows selling pot to people suffering from serious medical conditions. Again, April 20th is cherished by pot smokers around the world as a reason to celebrate their favorite drug. Major rallies occur across the country, particularly in places like Colorado, Washington State, and Washington, D.C., where marijuana possession is legal. In Vegas, for instance, 10 Parties, a cannabis chapel, they're celebrating its grand opening, and it will perform pot-themed wedding ceremonies and vow renewals. The chapel also offers tours of medical marijuana dispensaries and cultivation facilities in the Las Vegas area. Virgin Islands Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett announced 2 grant funding opportunities through the U.S. Department of Agriculture and is urging eligible stakeholders in the VI agriculture community to apply for the $4.7 million in grant funding available. Now, these funding opportunities are available for food safety education and technical assistance projects to address the needs of owners and operators of small to mid-sized farmland, and socially disadvantaged farmers can go a long way in helping our local farmers capitalize on the economic opportunities that come with the growing demand for local food, according to Plaskett. The first criminal charges were announced today in connection to the water crisis in Flint, Michigan. Steve Nanitz has the latest.
3 Michigan officials were charged today in connection to the Flint water crisis.
So many things went so terribly wrong and tragically wrong in Flint.
Mike Glasgow, a former supervisor at Flint's water treatment plant, was charged with tampering with evidence and willful neglect of duty as a public officer. And facing more serious allegations are Mike Prisby and Stephen Bush, officials with the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality, who face charges of misconduct in office, tampering with evidence, and violations of the Safe Drinking Water Act.
They had a duty to protect the health of families and citizens of Flint. They failed. They failed to discharge their duties.
Bush and Prisby both pleaded not guilty at their arraignments Wednesday. The problems in Flint started 2 years ago when the state of Michigan oversaw the switch of the city's water supply in an effort to save money. But the new water source turned out to be contaminated with E. coli and other toxins. And because the Department of Environmental Quality failed to treat the corrosive water, lead from the pipes also leached into the water supply. Michigan Governor Rick Snyder weighed in on the charges.
If these accusations are correct, this would take it to a whole new level. And one of the things we clearly want to pursue is the truth.
The Attorney General said to expect more charges as the investigation continues and that no one is ruled out as a target.
These charges are only the beginning, and there'll be more to come. That I can guarantee you.
In Washington, I'm Steve Nannis.
Keeping our eye on the economy, let's take a look at the stock market watch at the New York Stock Exchange. Numbers coming in there, everything up. The Dow 42, NASDAQ 7, S&P 500 up 1. Coming up on NEWS2, our Carnival Corner, 15 young Calypsonians graced the stage to compete for titles in their respective divisions, which were primary, intermediate, and secondary. They were judged on lyrics, melody, clarity, presentation, originality, and rendition. We'll take a listen when we get back. Welcome back. Time for our Carnival Corner, and the Junior Calypso competition was held on Tuesday at the Lionel Roberts Stadium. The 15 young Calypsonians graced the stage to compete for titles in their respective divisions, primary, intermediate, and secondary division. They were judged on lyrics, melody, clarity, presentation, originality, and rendition. Let's take a listen to the young talents.
Please give me a little bit of your time. I have something to say. If you don't mind, for so many years, right here on this stage, I've been singing for you from a young and tender way.
The legacy you left there in these Virgin Islands says you were blessed with a gift when I love a man. I was too young to know you, but long from your history, I'm talking about the great Nick Daddy Friday. If you like the director who end up behind bars, don't make me find us, don't make me find us. All this and it's all who run away from here. Don't make me find us, don't make me find us. If you're taking bribes or begging dishonestly, don't make me find out, don't make me find out. And teachers working hard and taking home penny. Don't make me find out, don't make me find out.
Great job there by all the young talent. Now here are the results. In the primary division, the winner was Amari Amigos Phillips. First runner-up, Josai Mighty Josai Narcisse. Second runner-up, Arturo Lipsotoro Lamoda. Intermediate division, the winner was Abriana Princess Abby Gregory. First runner-up, Nakai Young Professor Berkeley. Second division winner, Monet Lady Red Green. First runner-up, Mary Alice Lady Krista Prosper. Second runner-up, Maurice King Maurice Hansby. And of course, you saw some of the winners right in there. Well, let's take a look at the schedule tonight. It's the cultural night, and that begins at 8 p.m. Then this Friday, April 22nd, the long-awaited opening of the Carnival Village. The village opens at 6 p.m. at the Fort Christian parking lot. Saturday night, the Calypso competition at 8 p.m. at the Lionel Roberts Stadium. Sunday, it's the boat races. Many will line the waterfront from 10 a.m. in Sheldon-Mali. Then they'll head over to the Lionel Roberts Stadium at 5 p.m. for the Steel Band Jamboree. If you love pan music, you won't want to miss this. Look into the following week, Wednesday, April 26th. It's the Senior Citizens Quail Bay Tramp from 8 p.m. from the Market Square. The next day, Thursday, April 27th, it's the Cultural and Food Fair, 8 a.m. at Emancipation Garden. April 28th, Juve at 4 a.m. on the waterfront. And Friday, April 29th, Children's Parade. Saturday, April 30th, Adults Parade. Last lap that night in the village at 10 p.m. The Virgin Islands Department of Health released its weekly Zika surveillance report on Tuesday. And according to the Health Department, Zika cases are holding steady at 14. A bulk of that is on St. Croix, where there are 108 reported cases and 13 confirmed. On St. Thomas, there are 78 reported cases of Zika, but only 1 confirmed so far. There are no confirmed cases on St. John. The Health Department continues to urge pregnant women to get tested for the virus and to call the department to have their homes inspected for mosquito breeding grounds. These services are free to the community. Meanwhile, there are now a total of 12 dengue cases in the territory, 9 on St. Croix and 3 on St. Thomas. Into your health, the Williams Center, New York City Plastic Surgery Group will be unveiling their St. Thomas-based plastic practice on Thursday, April 21st. If you have ever wanted to learn more about how you can achieve a more youthful look and also what type of corrective surgeries will now be available to VI residents, this is your chance to see if you are a candidate. Many VI residents interested in plastic surgery may have traveled to other islands or even stateside in the past. However, board-certified surgeons of the Williams Center of New York have now set up shop in the VI, at least monthly for now.
We really believe that we can offer something that others don't, which is basically world-class facial plastic surgery. We practice out of New York. My partner and I both are highly specialized. I do facial rejuvenation surgery and rhinoplasty, and my partner does breast and body contouring, and that's his thing.
Cosmetic or plastic surgery is a medical specialty concerned with the body and face correction or restoration of form and function.
Most people do want to feel, it's not about what we look like so much, it's how we feel about ourselves. I mean, that's what we do.
Reconstructive plastic surgery is performed to correct functional impairments caused by burns, traumatic injuries such as facial bone fractures and breaks, congenital abnormalities such as cleft palates or cleft lips, developmental abnormalities, infection and disease, and cancer or tumors.
We really feel we can offer those services in a very, very safe setting that you may not see in some of the other islands, and that's why we're here at St. Thomas, because it's under the same jurisdiction, restrictions, guidelines that we have in the States.
So how is a candidate considered?
We customize the procedure to the individual. Some people just need a little mini lift, or some people need something more significant. Very rarely will we have to have someone come to the States. We have a clinic, a big clinic, 22,000 square foot clinic with 2 operating rooms in Latham, New York, and we see patients in New York City. But pretty much everything we can do, we work out of COG's operating rooms. They have a beautiful state-of-the-art facility. And so the key is listening to patients, examining them, and then making recommendations and getting a feel for whether their expectations are reasonable.
Again, the event will be held on Thursday, April 21st at 7:30 p.m. at the Sugar and Spice Salon in Yacht Haven. They will be presenting on Botox, injectables, medical-grade peels, and other services. In addition to Dr. Williams, his partner, Dr. Elaine Polanese, will be offering breast and body services out of the comprehensive orthopedic global in Foothills. In a later newscast, we'll learn more about the procedure for breast cancer patients. Well, they are leading by example. On Monday, the 1F Louis Hospital and Medical Centers Education Institute kicked off its second semi-annual wellness program for its hospital employees and their family members. The 1F Louis Wellness Program is called the Changing Lives Through Exercise and Nutrition Program. The 12-week program will offer a wide variety of fitness classes, healthy cooking lessons, lifestyle workshops, and massage therapy. 1F Louis' education team hosted a Meet the Trainers kickoff ceremony last Friday. The Simply Sophisticated Fun Troupe led the charge, dancing through the aisles and encouraging the employees to get up and move. Across the nation, the Junior Reserve Officer Training Program, JROTC, they're celebrating their 100th anniversary with events, including one of the largest runs in military history, in which 4 VI school programs will attempt to participate by breaking the world record on Saturday, April 23rd. Now, here are the schools locally and meet times at Ivana Udarakan at 7:30 a.m. with the Mighty Rays Battalion. St. Croix Educational Complex track at 8:30 a.m. with the Barracuda Battalion along the South Shore Road on St. Croix. At 10 a.m. with the St. Croix Central High School's Carib Battalion. Sheldon Mali High School track at 11 a.m. with the Chicken Hawk Battalion. The entire community is invited to support this worldwide cause. The 24th Annual Tennis Classic serves up great match play with a purpose with the Women's Coalition of St. Croix. They're kicking off its 24th Annual Tennis Classic from Wednesday, April 20th. So it began until Sunday, April 24th. The tennis tournament includes several categories of single elimination play. Don DeWild is the tournament director. To register, you can call the Buccaneer Hotels Tennis Club at 340-718-3199. 3036 or the Women's Coalition of St. Croix. That number is 340-773-9272. This event aims to bring attention to the need for advocacy for victims of crime in the community and raises money for the free programs and services. Well, be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.